Heat haven't done that much. Anyway, welcome into the Hangover Time free agency show. I am your host, Alphonse Sidney, aka Alf954. We are going to get right into it. The biggest news of the day, the most important thing that has happened. Listen, whether it's speculation, whatever you want to call it, nothing, no bomb has dropped bigger than this one.
My favorite though, that old black man that work on everybody's car in the black neighborhood. You know, you need a little carburetor fix or something, you go to him, he be talking to you whole time with his just hanging off his lip. What you got there now? What you got a Plymouth? Yeah, bring that back around here about 4 o'clock. There ain't no goddamn problem. I'll put a carburetor on there for you. I used to work out in the plant 15 goddamn years. I'll put a carburetor on there for you. Nigga, just bring me back a pair. Boy, you know what, boy? You look like your goddamn daddy. You don't look like you leave.
That is right, y'all. The biggest news of the day, the biggest thing that happened at Hangover Time in years. Dwayne Dedmon is back from Shams. I cannot say his last name. Free agent center Dwayne Dedmon has agreed to a 2-year, $9 million deal to return to the Miami Heat. Agents Mike Silverman and Brandon Greer of Stein. I don't know why I said that whole part. Who cares?
It doesn't matter. The shop is open.
Thank you. Another season of some of the biggest putbacks, offensive rebounds, run-of-the-mill layups. Just
friend of the program, two-time Hottie Award winner. Two-time Hottie Award winner.
Full suite, the full Dedmon package on display. Phrasing. Anyway, So listen, go ahead, go to MiamiHeatBeat.shop.com or whatever it's called, and go ahead and get your Dedmon merch. That stuff is good for another
Let's get the
season.
link right. Yeah,
that's the link.
Another 2 seasons.
I would say, do we know if the second year has some kind of option on it?
I think there's some incentive late and stuff, and he's probably gone by the trade deadline. But that's not the point. Dedmon is back for the beginning of next regular season. Welcome, everybody. What's going on? Everybody been refreshing Twitter all day, checking the timeline. Christian doesn't even have to check the timeline. Christian has his own sources, which we'll get to in a minute. Since it's not late night, it's not after a game, I'm not going to ask what everybody's drinking. But
thank God.
What I want, none of that rusty ass stuff you be drinking, Kenny.
Yeah, I got the bullshit right here still. I never moved it, and it's barely in
what do you
here.
have? Oh, come on.
Tito's? The bullshit is Tito's? All right. all right.
I've been drinking out of this bottle since All-Star Weekend.
He's been drinking that same Tito's bottle. That's why it's
He has been bullshitting with the bottle, is what he meant.
The bottle isn't bullshit. The way he drinks it is bullshit.
He is the bullshit.
And it's not even like a full bottle. It's that one they give out in gift bags and shit.
It's like the little $9 one. I'm cheap.
Anyway, well, let's get to the real deal, the real big free agency news. What everybody is actually talking about. Kevin Durant has asked for a trade. Kyrie came back into the building. He said, "I'm gonna head out." He picked up.
Hey, nice to see you. I'm out of here.
He's like, "Oh, you're back." Oh, about that. I want to go to Phoenix or I want to go to Miami. My favorite thing about this is the KD, where do you want to go? He just looked at the standings from last year. He said, I want Phoenix or I want Miami. Just send me to a 1 seed.
One seed.
It's not. Don't send me to the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. I just want a piddly little 1 seed, not somebody even made the finals.
And the 1 seed with good weather. That man don't want to go to Philly.
Listen, that man is tired. First of all, he's tired of Podunk Towns, and he wants good weather again. So no more OKC, no more Brooklyn. My man wants to go to Phoenix or he wants to go to Miami. So I'm gonna go around the horn right now. I want your guys' opinions, takes. Is the KD to Miami thing real? I'll start with you, Christian.
Real in what sense? Like we're all observing this reality and watching our timelines right now? Because in that sense, it's real as fuck, let me tell you.
Okay, yeah, I know that. I know, but give me your percentage that it actually happens.
Personal opinion, I don't know, maybe 25%, and that's the pure magic possibility of what Pat and Andy can do together. Because if there's anybody on the planet that I would trust to come up with an insane move out of nowhere with things that we probably haven't even fully considered, like it would be Andy Ellisberg, with Pat Riley behind his back screaming obscenities probably. But if you're just looking at it, Suns and Heat, if you want to take the report seriously that he really just wants to be on either one seed, I would think that the Suns have a more attractive package to offer the Nets, who are a team that's super desperate, absolutely needs players that can contribute right now because their draft picks are gone, like swaps out the ass, like they're properly fucked.
Yeah.
So
I would
go for the Suns deal if it was me, like personally.
But Moose, talking about the Suns deal, apparently the Nets don't want Ayton, and Ayton doesn't really have it. There's no real reason for Ayton to help out the Suns. Apparently, he's not.
Well,
he's
look,
not happy with them.
Ayton was treated like shit, but at the end of the day, he's gonna want his money. So if
Brooklyn
is coming to him with a contract, remember he's a free agent, and it takes two sides. You got to be wanted, and they got to want you. Like it's got to be a mutual relationship there. So we don't know what the situation is with Ayton. We're hearing they don't like each other. That's not going to work out. So I've been looking at Phoenix's roster. I do think there's ways for them to do a deal without DeAndre Ayton. I want to go back a little bit to what Christian was saying. Excuse me, because I agree. I think, I gave it around 25-30% for Pat as well, because if there's anybody that's going to get this done, this is the same guy that did the largest trade in NBA history, most amount of teams and players. This guy comes to every single situation with plan A, B, C, and D. So he's going to present the Nets with as many trade scenarios as he can. The problem is when you look at both of these rosters between Phoenix and Miami, there's just a easier trade to facilitate between Phoenix and Miami straight up. Phoenix and the Nets straight up. Whereas Miami needs to incorporate multiple teams in order to build the type of package that's really going to entice the Nets. And when you start bringing in more teams, that's where it gets a little bit tricky.
But outside of Booker and Ayton, who do the Suns have that the Nets actually want?
So I'm glad you asked that. I think Mikal Bridges is somebody that, yes, he's not going to be at the same level as Booker, but cap-wise, it's a good fucking contract, and it's going to be great in this trade, and it's a guy that's going to have value for you because he's a glue guy on any winning team. That's the type of contract
you're not trading KD for glue guys.
You're not, but you're going to be getting picks as well. You're going to be getting a Jay Crowder on an expiring contract. My big issue with the KD
that is the worst package I've ever heard of.
But hold on, because that's what I'm getting to.
Trash package.
But hold on, this is ultimately what I'm getting to. My big thing with the KD trade is what is the relationship right now between the Nets and KD? Are the Nets going to do right by KD? He's purposely putting it out there that he wants the Suns and the Heat because if the Nets are going to do right by him, they're not going to get a great package from either of those teams. Where it comes into play is if they say, listen, after all the shit you guys put us through this year, we're going for the best deal we can get. You didn't put an option on your 4-year deal. You didn't put a no trade clause. This is our only opportunity to rebuild.
Miami has the better deal.
Go ahead, Bron. Yeah.
Okay, Siobhan. Okay, well, why do you think that?
Well, so I think so. So you got Mikal Bridges, you have Cam Johnson, and you have Cameron Payne, right?
Yes.
So those are
Cameron Johnson, but yes.
I said Cam Johnson. They have two Camerons.
No, she said Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
They have both Camerons, right? So you have those three, and so I know Bam can't go to Brooklyn because of Ben being there. But even without Bam, I think those three and whatever machination of Tyler, Duncan, Gabe, Max,
they don't want
our
that.
picks,
They don't want that.
Jovic, Highsmith. Like I feel like it would cost more, but I feel like we could form together the better pieces. And as far as my percentage, I'm gonna go somewhere at least 45 because Pat has already been in the room with Kevin. Like they've already established that was something that they would kind of be looking to maybe want to do. And so it didn't happen in 2016 or whatever the year was. And so now to know that Kevin wants to get back in the room with him, there's no reason for Pat not to, like you said, present A, B, C, D, all of these multiple trade packages. And I think that there's a way that Miami can do it without Bam or Jimmy, but it would literally probably be everybody. But even without
everybody,
it will, right? But even without Jimmy or Bam and everybody, I still think that's a better package than Phoenix is. And okay, if they were to throw in Jimmy, which I don't believe they would, I don't think they would. Optically, I don't think that they would from Jimmy is the player he is now. Bam is a little bit more of a project, whatever. But if they were to throw in Jimmy, that's definitely a much better package than whatever Phoenix could offer. So if KD is serious about wanting to come to either here or there and do right by him and do right by themselves, they get more return, I think, from whatever it is that we could offer them.
Kenny, I'll let you go because I don't agree with Moose. I think I've made that quite clear. That that the bridge, like the glue guy package of Bridges, Cam Johnson, and campaign is not better than Lowry, Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson, and all and then whatever they want.
Tyler Herro is the best player available, yes, but if we're talking about the overall package, Kenny, you take it away.
Even the overall package, it's still no.
And I would like to clarify something because, like, I agree with Siobhan but I just personally don't believe that they would gut the roster to that extent. And that's the reason why I feel like they wouldn't go that far, and that's why I said my percentage low.
But they re-signed Vic, so they shored up that spot. If they found a way to do it magically without Jokic, I know people don't think he's going to contribute. Now that's fine, that's another conversation. But like I was talking to Tiff, and I was kind of playing around with it, but I was like, watch, like the idea that Pat would flip this whole shit to get him his guy. I know we're talking about windows and how much time these dudes have left. Pat said, he is committed to seeing this thing through, but he ain't trying to be here for another 6 years trying to get this shit jump started. You got Kevin in for the next 4 seasons. I don't know.
Yeah, and also, Christian, I think you're smoking rocks. If you think he's not anybody not named Jimmy or Bam is gone if the Nets want them. Like, I mean, he might ship Mickey over there.
You
like,
can do a whole entire roster and keep
Roddy might be gone. I don't know.
This is Pat's final wail. Like I said that in a tweet, and I really mean it. This is his last, real shot at a title. He wants one more ring before he drops into the sunset.
You guys aren't wrong. It's just it's a bigger thing than you lead on to just completely gut and overturn a roster like that. Yeah, but if there's anybody that can find people undrafted on the street to come play and contribute, it's the fucking Heat.
I mean, at some point,
and you do it for KD. You do it for KD.
The salaries have to match, so you can't gut the entire roster, of course.
They have so many cheap contracts that are useful right now. Yeah. That's the thing. They could gut the roster.
They could. Well, that's what I'm saying. They could.
But again, that's also why I say it's got to be multiple teams, though, and that's what makes it difficult for the Heat. Because when you're looking at the Heat's contract or the Heat's roster, they only have large cap numbers and tiny cap numbers. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult.
I feel like that makes a multiple team trade easier. Like, okay, y'all need like 500. Y'all need like another 5 million to get up to. Cool, you can take that.
Now, when you're trying to match up salaries, Siobhan, no, you need to have
the check, but we got all the singles. Oh, you need 4 or 5?
It's not that easy.
all we do is got change for big bills. What you need, a max and a yurt? Okay. I got a max and a yurt. I got 3 minimums. You need 3 minimums? I got 3 minimums.
Change for a Kevin? Okay, I can give you 3 maxes.
Kenny, you've been a big. I don't know if you're a proponent of running it back. I don't know where you stand. I just think you like yelling at everybody. What do you think of the possibility of this KD trade?
So let me just preface this by saying Kevin Durant is my absolute favorite player in the league. So I also hate what I'm about to say. I've seen this movie before where, like, Kevin Durant is just way too good of a player to think he's going to demand a trade and it's going to work. Like, if you remember Kobe in 2007, where, like, he demanded the trade and everyone's like, oh, Kobe's getting traded. 1 month goes by, 2 months go by, 3 months go by. It's like, hey, Kobe, who the fuck do you think is going to come up with a good enough package for this? And it was like, all right, well, hey, you know what? I'll come back to the Lakers. It's cool.
Whoa!
And so,
did you see sorry about that, Kenny. Leif tweeted that apparently the Heat have made standing offers using the taxpayer mid-level exception to multiple unrestricted free agents. Are they a taxpayer right now?
I don't feel like
it seems like they're
dead-
going to. That
Where's
means
Brian?
that they are of the
Where is
that-
Brian? That is the real question.
But hold on, that means that they are operating under the belief that by the time they go to sign these contracts, they will be over the cap. So whatever they're working on, whatever their train of thought is, it looks like Mickey's going to be diving into the cap, into the luxury tax. I should say.
Let's do it.
Okay, well, we're talking about what these guys might be doing or what they're planning on doing. One of the things I tweeted out as a kind of a joke, but kind of like because something's going on here, right, with the whole Vic thing. By the way, Victor Oladipo is back on a 1-year, $11 million deal, right? And everybody, and I'm not talking about nationally, just nationally. I'm not just talking about the Twitter guys. I'm even Christian, who we'll get to in a minute. Even like the local beat guys who normally, when they say stuff, they don't get a lot of info. But when they get it, they put it out, and it's normally pretty rock solid. They all thought Vic was gone.
It didn't make sense for him to be gone from both sides.
It did. It never did. But there was something, and it felt like it was about playing time and role, right? Because the money, he could get more money here than he can get most places, and really wouldn't affect the Heat's cap situation because they had his bird rights. The fact that it seems like there was a pivot at the nth hour or whatever, does that kind of further lead you guys to believe that maybe they told him, hey, sit tight? There may be backup 6th man of the year minutes coming here. Same thing with Dedmon. There may not be any yurt talk this year because these guys might be gone. Like, do you guys put any stock in the fact that some guys returned, Dedmon and Vic, that weren't necessarily slated to return? And maybe it's because they know something we don't, that there's some playing time opening up because, as Christian said, the roster's about to be gutted.
I don't think I do.
Go ahead.
I did. I went on that whole rant. Kenny's like, no.
Because
next question.
Well, as far as Oladipo goes, and I did start to believe that he wants to go somewhere else and get a bigger role thing, but there was just no real reason to not do it. They owned his bird rights, and he's wanted to be here for years, and so I think they can probably carve out some minutes for him if they really need to. But I'm just not. I don't know. They lose nothing by signing him. In worst case scenario, they can trade him in a couple of months to somewhere else he might want to go. And so I don't.
Yeah, but see, Kenny, my thing is I don't think the reticence was on the Heat's part. I think it was on Victor's part when him not coming back to Miami. I don't think it was about Miami. I think it was more about Vic wanting the role. And listen, it's just
I agree with that. By the way,
yeah.
Like I'm sorry to just jump in, but like I am of your belief too, Alf. I was shocked to see him come back so late. For me, that's us telling him there may be more minutes here than we initially discussed.
Give us a shot. Don't leave.
I think Victor and the Heat are on, like, they have a great working relationship. I think they both would have liked to have made it work. And I think they understood at a point that, like, if your main goal is to either start or get these heavy minutes, you know, there's going to be a competition here. Maybe Tyler's going to be here and all that. Maybe now the conversation has changed. All of this trade talk, everything is fluid up until, you know, the moment of.
JBM Heat in the chat says Vic tweeted hours before free agency along the lines of people forget, but they'll soon remember. Do you think that could have been him saying no one wanted him, the role he was looking for, so he came back to Miami?
I think it's more along those lines because the teams that were rumored, it was Detroit, there was Sacramento, they have like Detroit, they have Cade, they have their
Jay and
Ivy. They're kind of building something already at the guard position that they want to kind of give their minutes to. Who else was it? Was it Sacramento? Sacramento. Jesus Christ.
I don't want to go there. Not right now.
Slimmy Schlutler says, let's talk about how PJ Tucker is a whore. We'll get to that.
I'm hurt about that one, man.
Knicks, Lakers, Jazz. And the Lakers signed Brunson.
Yeah, and so
the
Knicks.
The Knicks, sorry.
Yeah.
The Lakers
who the fuck wants to be in Utah? Right? Right, Donovan? Who the fuck wants to be in Utah?
Very jealous of the Lakers. They got Walker.
I think there's some stuff to the Vickery signing. So maybe other teams didn't like have the role that he was looking for, but that I don't think should have mattered because Miami had the exact kind of role that it is that he was looking for. He wanted 1 year. Let me prove it. He was going like it made more sense for him to get that here. There is space for him to have minutes. It's not necessarily about him starting. It's about him wanting to have to feel that he has a significant role in the offense, which I feel like he should. Boom, we're out of the injury woods, right? His surgery here was a success. Now he's able to go rehab and have an actual offseason. And so there's no reason to believe that he wouldn't come back into training camp or whatever it is in a more integrated way that he could be used for the team. Pat or Spo talked about Vic in his presser. Pat insisted, whether people believe it's coach's speak or not, Pat insisted to Tyler, you're not just going to start. You're going to come in here and earn it. And so who would be the people that he would be up against to earn it? Vic seems like a Pat guy. It never made any sense to me that it would be anywhere else. And I understand the idea that it would be having to carve out minutes, but I'm gonna say that's a different conversation for a different topic. I don't want to bash anybody or there is space for Victor to operate if he's healthy, if he's right to. And people just have to be willing to pull the moves with the lineups. All right, you're not giving it to me right now. Come have a seat. This dude can.
Well, I would love to see a Heat team with Victor Oladipo healthy, full training camp, coming into the season with a game plan for Vic, not trying to shoehorn him into whatever current game plan they're working, especially last year.
Him in a corner.
Well, last year was so hectic. I mean, I felt like they were rolling out a new offense every week because the starting lineups kept switching. You guys remember the run when they made without Jimmy and Bam? They were jacking up 53s a game, right? It was this is our offense now. We don't have Jimmy and Bam, so it's just going to be interesting for me to see when he gets to really compete for a spot in a rotation, and they can tailor some of what they do to his game. See how that shakes out a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about what if we talk about who the Heat re-signed and Dedmon and Vic. Let's talk about who the Heat, quote unquote, missed out on. We talked about a little bit about PJ. This is from Shams. Free agent PJ Tucker is finalizing a 3-year, $33.2 million deal to sign with the Philadelphia 76ers. Personally, it hurts. I loved PJ. He was quintessential Heat glue guy, the kind of guy that Moose
that was my player of the season, Alf.
Well, Moose thinks you could trade glue guys for Kevin Durant, which I don't think. But
I would build a package. I would build a package for PJ. By the way, I didn't say glue guy over Tyler. I don't want that to be the takeaway from today. I have a top 5 list of why Tyler Herro is the best trade asset for the Miami Heat.
We will get to that shortly.
PJ is paste. That's not glue. That's paste.
I'm holding all PJ slander until day 1 of the regular season. I thank him for last year. I love that guy.
Listen, I love PJ. I wanted to keep him, but I understood, Brian Goins from Heat Beat put it out there that if they paid him the full mid-level exception, it would hard cap the Heat. Somehow, a lot of people on Heat Twitter took hard capping to mean that Mickey was cheap. That he didn't want to pay.
I saw that tweet. Yeah,
they gave. Hard cap means he can't spend any more money. Hard cap.
No more.
If you want to spend more than the cap, you don't want to be hard cap. Over the cap means more money. So you can't call somebody cheap for wanting to spend more money, you morons. Holy shit. The
cap is the top. Right? Yeah, the cap. And here's the cap. This is the top. Over is somewhere in here, bitch. We are at the hard part.
Right.
You want to move the hard part so you can spend more. Listen, I'm sorry, podcast audience, but this is a very good diagram I'm showing.
The cap is the basement.
Anyway, so they didn't want to hard cap themselves. It really would have made future moves hard. So I understood why. I did feel like the what they were willing to offer PJ, apparently a report was about $27 million over 3 years. For him to leave for $33 million, and when the taxes are involved, it's more like $1 million difference over 3 years.
That's why it hurts.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? He wanted to go back and play with his boy James. He has a really good relationship with Daryl Morey. Playing with Joel Embiid as a power
Raptors
forward.
East. They got Daniel House. Raptors East.
Yeah, you mean Rockets East?
Rockets East.
Yeah, they're putting the band back together about 4 years too late, but hey, that's on them.
And his relationship with Daryl Morey, like we really should have factored that in more going into free agency, because he's been very open about how Daryl Morey was like the GM that really gave him his first big contract and all that. Like they have a very good relationship that is not a secret around the league. And
he I mean, Morey's one of the guys who believed in PJ Tucker more than anybody else.
Exactly.
So you can understand where that's coming from. I'm not going to slander PJ until game 1 of the regular season when I see him in a Sixers uniform, because I'll probably physically be sick. But what do you guys think as far as Kenny, PJ gone? What are the options now at the 4? Because we've also seen Mo Bamba re-signed with the Magic. So there's slim pickings at the 4 right now.
Yeah. See, so the thing with PJ, I thought you just can't replace him for the way he's able to guard certain guys. I know you can find a good defender somewhere. Like, yeah, Caleb's a good defender. Trevor Ariza was a good defender, but when you put him against Giannis, when you put him against KD, PJ Tucker is one of the only guys who can make those types of guys work, and that's who you'll run into in the playoffs. And so you can't replace PJ. I'll say this in the chat. I don't love this, but I would be a little comforted if Jay comes back because of the defense and the strength and being able to kind of make those guys work. The shooting, I'm not a huge believer of, but
no, I'm with Kenny. I've been saying this in the chat for weeks now, Kenny.
You literally won't shut up about it.
Yeah, Kenny, I influence you, but it's all good. We're on the same side here. Listen, he is PJ Tucker light. That's why we love Jay Crowder so much. We were all so sad when he left. We can get him now for a 1-year deal. Come on.
I'm not banging the table for this, and I'm not like I don't have a megaphone out bringing Jay back, but when you look at the other options out there, it's like you might have to
get me Otto Porter. Go get me Otto Porter. Thanks.
I guess
I'd rather Otto Porter.
I want someone that I can trust on the defensive end.
I would take Jay in a backup.
I'd rather Jay over Otto, but I don't really care at the end of the day.
Thank you.
I'll take Jay in a backup 4 role, but man, I don't know.
And your Wi-Fi is good. You're killing today, Kenny.
Why do we keep wanting small people to play bigger than they are? And I know that they can. Why can't we just get lengthy people and kind of?
Why can't we just get some big fucking dudes?
God damn.
Why are you so obsessed with height? Who gives a shit about that? Huh?
Oh,
all right. I'm not making this personal. All right.
I get it. I would go Otto before I went Jay.
Listen, I like Jay, and I would love him as a backup 4, but I mean, I don't know if you're going into the season with Jay as your 4, and then who's backing up Jay at this point?
Exactly.
Like
that'll be KD. What you mean?
It's got to be somebody worse
than
Jay.
KD starts at the 4.
Bruh, Yurt is going to be the biggest stretch 4 you've ever seen in your life. Watch.
Oh, somebody said Jovic. We forgot about Jovic.
Thank you. I don't want to talk about that nigga throwing that. Well, just stay on the corner and hit some threes. Be tall.
He's not going to contribute yet to most. Give it mid-season.
Juancho Hernandez is available apparently.
If it's Bo Cruz, I'll take it.
Can I call out one of the comments here in the chat, because I did want to bring this up. So I am Group 33 is saying, at this point, would any of you take Kyrie Irving? And I wanted to get to this point because I'm going to be honest. As I'm all in on KD. I really don't think he's going to end up here unless a lot of things swing our way, including the Nets working with KD, and that's something that we don't know about. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, Kyrie's right out the door.
Yep.
Would you trade for him? And this is the perfect scenario of Kyrie, because you're going to get him on that 1-year deal. Then you would still hold his bird rights. So it's like you could then sign and trade him next offseason. I ultimately think we may have a better shot at Kyrie. And he's going to be cheaper.
Listen, I'm telling you, Pat Riley need to walk to Joe's side. Listen, I'm leaving here with something.
Exactly.
From round the way.
100%.
I'm leaving here with something.
Yeah.
All right, so I would trade for Kyrie in a heartbeat. Mickey Harrison lost $80 billion in the pandemic, and Kyrie's the biggest anti-masculine.
Bro, he's got another $80 billion hidden somewhere.
Y'all gotta get off.
I think that was the day they got word that KD was available. He was like, "Mass on, motherfucker!"
He had sitting on that bitch real quick. Fuck that, and then he was like, "Oh wait, we're not getting pull it back." Listen, I think we're overdoing the whole anti-vaccine stuff. Listen. I'm not a big fan of Kyrie because of that stuff and because of other stuff, but talent-wise, like,
bring him in.
You can't tell me, like, last year when we needed buckets, could we have used Kyrie Irving? Like, come on.
Right. I don't care if he thinks the ball's flat. Give me those buckets. Like,
I just love
bro, stop looking at athletes for like inspiration in life. To fuck it, that's not what that's for. Like, they're not meant to like tell you what's good and bad. Like, those are politicians. Like, just let him be. He's a little weird. Whatever. He's good. Like,
and it would be an expiring deal, so you're still like, there's so many benefits to it because you're still going to be clear. It's a 1 year thing. You're not locked into the guy, which is my hesitation with it, but knowing that he's on that 1 year deal, that changes.
He's gonna hoop, or he's gonna hoop for 1 year, and now, like, all right, let's talk.
Exactly.
It makes too much sense. Also, I'm not leaving with nothing.
Smoke some bad sage, and then you just, you move on.
Kyrie, I got a guy. He's got some sage. It looks like
Kyrie. I got a guy too. It's not sage, but you can
it's safer.
I need a guy.
We do want to talk about what some of the other teams are doing. Then we want to get to Christian's insider sourcing.
In my top 5.
And Moose's top 5. I'm gonna keep promising Moose that top 5 until we run out of time.
30.
So let's talk about what some of the other teams in the league are doing.
What they doing over there?
I love it.
We were already talking about other teams. I just wanted to play that.
We don't get to use it enough.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't we just do that? Like,
and then the season ended, which sucked. So the one deal that came up that somehow had Heat Twitter in an uproar for a few hours until all the local beat writers were like, "Nah, son, that ain't real."
Oh man, it's only been like what 8 hours, 9 hours since like the world turned over.
Yeah,
the Hell KD thing. It's crazy.
Well, Adrian Wojnarowski reports free agent guard Jalen Brunson, armed with a 5-year, $106 million plus Mavericks offer, is headed into a meeting with the New York Knicks within the hour. And then another Chris Haynes tweet said, yeah, he didn't even want to talk to the Mavericks. He is just going to be a New York Knick. His father works for the Knicks. His father's agent was Leon Rose. Like, there's like so many. It's like this tangled web of nepotism.
It's been done since last year.
Yeah.
Go get nephew.
This dude was always going to be a Knick. And so you know what's bad though? Like, I really, really want to make fun of the Knicks for like going out and, this is their guy, right? A guy who had a nice little playoff run, had like 3 months of really high level basketball, and the Knicks throw the entire bag at him, right? And I want to make fun of him, but Heat Twitter embarrassed the shit out of me today.
Oh, man.
Can't even do it.
Embarrassed the shit out of me today.
He got mad at me for saying that.
Play the Durant music.
The deal because that was one thing for sure that I decided I'm not paying attention to. Like they have no power forward. They're not giving up trade assets for like Jalen Brunson. Like, and so it just never made sense. So I never paid attention to it. So I look today, I catch stuff by mistake. I see you have to give up Kyle Lowry for Jalen Brunson. He's better, and I was like, what? So I thought people were joking, and I looked some more, and it was like, but Kyle didn't contribute, and Jalen's an upgrade, and I was like, all right, you know what? This is embarrassing. I'm just tweeting about him and leave it alone. But then I got such other crazy stuff. I responded to some of it, and it was like, all right, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just a Kyle Lowry dump, and I was like, what? And so from there, I just left it alone. I was like, you know what? See, this is why I don't read Heat Twitter on the timeline no more. I just tweet and then I like look at my responses.
But you know what,
I couldn't do it.
It wasn't even the fact that Like, listen, I even couldn't understand. Like, Jalen Brunson, a younger. Let's say it's a wash, and he's just a younger version of Kyle Lowry.
Right.
I can understand like wanting to do that trade, but the way people were talking about Jalen Brunson, my God, like
in the way they were talking about Kyle.
Oh, that was the whole thing. Because we can't praise one player without totally trashing another one. So, I mean, Lowry was trash. He was washed up. He gave them nothing the entire season. I'm like, wait, you talking about the middle of the season when Jimmy and Bam went down and Kyle Lowry kept the team afloat, not keeping them 500. They got better when those guys went down, and then they came back and snagged the 1 seed. You got to give Kyle his respect for what he did in the regular season. You can be as mad as you want at him about the injury in the playoffs, and yes, you can say his conditioning had something to do with it. I mean, he had a lot of personal issues, missed a lot of time during the season, and he looked physically out of shape by the time the playoffs came around. And then his body broke down. So you can say yes. Okay, you can blame him for all of that. But to act like the guy was just trash all season, he sucks. And now Jalen Brunson is the next coming of John Stockton, Magic Johnson, and Steph Curry all rolled into one. That's what was wild to me. Like, and that's why I mean you guys have ruined my chance to laugh at the Knicks. I will never forgive Heat Twitter for it.
And I do have to point out something else about Kyle, because my guess is that somebody said something about his injury history on a podcast. People ran with it. Kyle doesn't really have much of an injury history at all. He hurt his hamstring in these playoffs. Fine. Last year he played so few games because the Raptors shut him down, like intentionally. The year before that was the pandemic. It was a short season. And before that, he was playing anywhere between 65 and like 75 games. Like, he's not injury prone. He's never been injury prone. I'm not really sure where that came from. So I want to clarify that. He's old, fine. I don't believe the fix to injuries is trading for a younger guy. That never made sense to me. Cool. But like, he doesn't have this extensive injury history people keep alluding to. Like, it just doesn't exist.
He's got a lot of cushion when he falls. So
yeah. All that ass, you ain't look. Jimmy kept breaking his tailbone. That shit ain't happening with Kyle.
It's not. You got something there. The truth is in the middle. People can there's no reason to bash Kyle. There's also no reason to act as if like they couldn't have potentially gotten to where they found themselves if there was someone else steering the helm. But there's also no reason to act like Jalen Brunson would have been like, that's the one. Like, I'm not a Kyle fan. We did not a Kyle fan. I wasn't like a huge bring Kyle guy. We did the show last year.
Third on the list. Yeah.
He was fifth on my list.
Okay.
But like, I'm not trading Kyle for Jalen Brunson. That's a move. That makes no sense. At least Kyle got more chemistry with the people that's already here. Like, you're making trades that's nothing, and now you're starting over with this look. He's small. Like, that's dumb. Like, there's a way to be like, tell the truth and be level, but like, don't be dumb. People be being dumb.
It's the extremes of what was funny to me. And the way they were talking about Jalen Brunson on the timeline today, boy, and as soon as like they were like, oh yeah, the Heat didn't even really want to meet with them. No more talk about Jalen Brunson.
He's like a light-skinned pit bull. Like, he's like built like a pit bull in the face. And I like this.
Well, somebody said, Schmeathan in the chat said Jalen Brunson is built like Alf. And if you have a professional basketball player that's built like me,
Alf wishes.
Do not sign. Yeah, I wish I was built like Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
Maybe like 3 inches
I'm built
shorter,
like Kendall Jenner.
I'd be athletic.
You're built like whom?
Kendall Jenner. Like, it's not the same. I'd rather have an NBA player built like me.
Kendall.
Yeah,
I was gonna say maybe Caitlyn Jenner. Sorry.
Nah.
Built like Kendall.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm built like Kendall. It's fine.
Okay, so now
I'm not comparing.
trying to get off of this. I'm
so
picturing
funny.
Kendall Jenner, and then
Me too. Slender. Okay.
So we have a lot of insiders on Twitter, right? People who we've just been following for 10 years, and all of a sudden they have sources out of nowhere. I call them the educated guessers, but every once in a while, somebody from Heat Twitter has a real source, and we're going to check back through one of their tweet threads and see,
I wonder who this is going to be.
Did all this stuff come to fruition or not? And now I'm sitting here trying to find. Oh, here we go.
Quickly, Kyle Anderson to the Timberwolves. 2 years,
That's
$18 million.
nice.
Wow.
I like that for them. I like that for them a lot.
That's a good deal.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
not bad.
That is a good deal.
I do want to hear your.
2 years, $18 million. That's a pretty good deal.
That's great.
Yeah.
I do want to hear your guys' some of your favorite non-Heat related favorite moves. Because I saw you guys talking to Chad about some of the stuff, and there's some good stuff out there. But here we have our own Christian Hernandez, aka the Spider Bam. He came out about 7 hours ago, and I mean, just set fire to the timeline.
I didn't even see this.
Oh no! We're about to go through these one by one and see if Christian's
you haven't seen these? Oh,
I saw like two of these.
A legit source tweeter or an educated guesser? Which one is he?
Put that scout conversation up there too.
All right, so Christian Hernandez 7 hours ago says, my A1 league source just popped up out of the blue. And then cryptically left that there for a little while.
Well, because he came out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't even trying to, like, message him or anything. Like, yo, you want a scoop? I'm like, bro, I could be Biden right now. Give me some ice cream. Let's go.
All right, so his first one was Herro extension is basically done.
Let's go.
That's still,
right. That was me kind of going off the cuff a little bit. What he really said is that it's assured.
No, that's probably.
He didn't say when. He didn't say if it's tomorrow or in 4 months. But he said it's basically like they have an agreement. So
they got the parameters of it done. Yeah.
I'm sure it was before KD shook loose.
So that sounds like an educated guess, but okay, I'll give you that one. Remains to be seen.
It hasn't happened, so you can't give me shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm rolling with it. I'm celebrating. Yeah. We're popping bottles. I'm so excited. All right.
The next one, Heat are in talks with San Antonio and Atlanta to possibly get in the final version of the Murray trade.
Excuse me? Get in, okay. Not get the final version.
I mean, that one is still technically
up in the air.
Possible, right?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Christian Dead says this was my favorite one. Next 72 hours will apparently have a big impact on the direction the Jazz move in the future, and that directly impacts Donovan Mitchell. I have no idea what that actually
I thought that was Christian as fuck too. I don't know what it means. I'm literally just relaying what I was told. I was like, okay, man. Like, I hope something happens in the next 3 days. That's fun. Like, I don't know.
But you know what? I do believe that one because they've been clearing out a lot of space for a 3 and a 4.
Yes.
They are clearly at an impasse right now, trying to figure out, listen, are we going to stick with this one more year and see if we can run it and try and make a run? Or are we starting our rebuild right now? Because
I don't know. I think they're tired.
The rebuild is inevitable.
Yeah.
I
mean, it seems like they're making moves to try to bring somebody in to help Donovan. So I think that's probably what they're trying to do. And if they can't find anybody, maybe they pivot.
Yeah.
All right, so we're giving Christian half credit for that one.
Okay. No credit. Nothing's happened.
Wait.
It feels rightish. It feels rightish.
What did we give him for the Murray San Antonio one? Did he get
incomplete? He's got 2 incompletes.
I give him a half.
No, incomplete. Two incompletes. Go ahead.
He's got 2 incompletes. Okay. He has a C, and then here we go. PJ is gone. He's going to Philly.
Correct.
We all knew that one. I'm not giving you credit for that. Next.
He could have come back, but correct.
And here's the kicker.
Well, this is the one I'm getting roasted for. I feel like Adrian Broner or whatever his name is.
And this is the one you were you came hard on this one. Phrasing. Oladipo will end up in either a Knicks, Lakers, or Jazz jersey.
It's what he said. It's literally what I was like, oh, he's confident as fuck about this. I was like, all right, I guess it's happening. Everybody's saying it's happening. Everybody was saying it's happening. You got fucking Will Manso being like, bro, I didn't think this was going to happen. Will Mansel's in that building every damn day.
Don't try and bring down Will Mansel's good name with your inaccurate reporting, okay?
Hey,
Will
all right,
Mansell
fine, you're right.
is
I'm not
a
gonna throw straight.
legitimate member of the media, all right?
Yes, Moose. Yes,
He got
Moose.
Machialina. He's got
I
good
got
taste.
you, Will. Don't worry. Great
All right,
back.
so we
guess
got 2
technically he could
incompletes,
still
a
be
C,
moved.
an A+, and an F.
C plus maybe with upside.
Really?
You know,
It's
like,
still worse than one of my report cards from high school. I'm not gonna
That's
lie
a
to you.
C.
To his
minus.
credit, that's better than half of like the Twitter
Pretty
X.
damn-
So
No, I'll
Yeah,
say, I
G-
mean,
good.
go-
Dude.
going
Yeah.
back through the years, I would say, I mean, after today, his hit rate's still probably like around 80%. Like, dude, like if you had somebody
still
telling
better-
you shit and then right 80% of the time,
It's still better
Yeah,
than
you're
Jake
probably gonna
Fisher.
listen.
Is all I'm gonna say.
oh,
Yeah, your source better not be Evan Massey, Christian, or you might get fired.
oh,
Has Evan Massey ever been right about anything?
No, he hashtags the team's names. That's how you know.
He removed himself.
I went to go eat dinner. This was supposed to be a hard 30. Shit.
Oh no, we said a hard 60.
Can I get my top 5 list then?
Oh, here we go. So now it's time for. I wish I had some good imaging.
We don't
for
have
you,
any
Moose.
imaging. We don't have This is all off the cuff. But this
Go
is
ahead.
the top 5 reasons why the Nets should want Tyler Herro. Or if we keep Tyler Herro, why we should be happy we got him. So that's what happens. So number 1, he's a serial mogul, okay? This guy has like a ton of boxes. I would know because they're all in my garage. And if the Nets want it, we can go ahead and put it into the deal. Number 2, he's got a rap song by Jack Harlow. You know how cool Jack Harlow is?
They don't give a fuck about Jack Harlow in Brooklyn.
All of the NBA refs know Jack Harlow, which means all of the NBA refs love Tyler Herro. So that's number 2.
every
Number
time I
3.
get Mo Bamba.
It's never something serious.
Number 3, he was the 6th man of the year. That's right. And at only 23, that means that he's got ways to go. This year was 6th man of the year. Next year, it's MVP, baby. You want a bit of that. So number 4, he leads the league in drip drafts. That's all I got for that one. That was for the guy that said he was hit the J anytime I said drift drop. So that one was for you. I just had that there. And then the last one. Okay. So he's going to have another child. And this is big, okay? We just saw the results. His stats nearly doubled this last year with one kid. You know what happens when you get one more kid? Now that means they're going to double again. The more children he has, the more points he scores, okay? That's the way this all works. So, Katya, thank you for increasing his, love life with a beautiful family, but also his trade value. Take me out!
Let me just say,
Katya, more kids, Katya.
One kid, 20 points per game, 2 kids.
It's not a goddamn factory over here. What is wrong with
all right,
y'all?
so
You
let me just
goddamn
say,
Supreme
like,
Court justices.
there's a small chance something hilariously ironic can happen right now. Like, so Tyler followed me on Twitter yesterday. Can you imagine this is the episode he tunes into where Moose is trading him away?
I hope so. Been repping that guy.
Where Moose is trading him away.
Trading him away today.
I'm not. I'm saying this is why we should be happy that we got him. Come on.
I can't believe I gave you the stage for that.
I was waiting for the out, man. This was a hard 30.
Yeah, moving back out to the side.
Whoever said hard 30? It's the free.
I said that we said an hour long. You're always trying to make it a hard 30.
But I feel like the second that you say it's a hard 30, you know it's not a hard 30, right?
Well, he didn't even say that. It wasn't even talked about.
It was 8 to 9. It's always.
I
been
mean,
8 to
Alex
9.
came in here very lethargic. Like, he's clearly had a long day. He was like, I don't want to do this for that long.
Thank you, Christian.
Yeah, you.
That was off camera. You don't let secrets out like that.
You did bring your
I
energy
came in
up.
a ball of energy. I was
You
excited.
did. I'm not saying you didn't. I was just saying.
Oh my
you know.
gosh, Christian.
You're just mad about your. You're just
That's
mad about your
backstage
tweet
talk.
thread.
Okay, fine. All right, damn.
If you've
sorry,
been
my bad.
exposed as a fraud. I'm just joking. We're gonna grade that.
Roast me again. Go back to roasting me.
You know what's
That just
funny?
freaked me out. I thought KD was traded.
The Depot tweet still might actually come to fruition. We're gonna go
And
back
it
to
still
it.
could be moved technically, I guess. Put that scout conversation up.
I mean, so I wish Brian was here. So, like, is there any limitation to moving a 1-year deal that you just signed?
I think he can't be moved
so
until
1
January
year.
15th.
Well,
December
not only
15th?
that, he technically does have a no trade clause. Basically, he needs to give consent to any trade because he
Yes.
did a 1-year deal off of his bird rights, and then the team that he's going to won't have his bird rights, which means he won't be eligible for that, necessarily bird rights, whatever 7% increase or whatever that number is. Basically, it's not in written that he has a no trade clause, but he has to give consent to any trade.
Which, why would he leave? So he's basically here.
And he can't get traded
Correct.
to January 15th, I think. Because the size of
Correct.
his
Any
increase or something.
December 15th,
December.
any new
No,
free agent.
because of the size of the increase of his
Yeah.
deal, he
Oh,
can't
that
be
one's
traded till
January?
he has a January 15th.
Well, he can get traded, but the salary in it is going to get cut like halfway or something crazy like that.
Yes.
So he's not
Goes
going
down to 6.5.
Yeah, he's not going
not.
to. I do want to give Christian some credit, though, because the Jazz thing could very well be possible. And this is not a Donovan thing, so please, the
It could.
insert player here is going to love Utah, corny-ass joke crowd. Stay away for this one. But his relationship with Dwayne Wade, it just makes a ton of sense. It
Oh yeah.
could very well
I
go
thought
over
he
there.
was. I thought he was going to.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go to Utah just because of the Dwayne Wade factor.
Who
Yeah.
We
who are
all
we saying
said
he?
Utah.
Who are we saying? We
Someone
thought
said if I didn't wear my glasses,
he
I'd
got
really look like
50
an
million.
alcoholic.
no.
What happened?
Never mind.
Bobby Portis got 50 million, Alf.
Oh,
I
good
thought
for
it was
him.
like 46
Good for him,
or something.
man.
Did it come
Over
out
like
at
4
50?
years, I think.
Yeah, 4 years.
49
Still,
for 4 years.
50
He
million.
spends $30 million in eye drops. So
Good for him. Listen, these glue guys, you need these guys.
Oh, you with the glue.
These are the
Mouse.
guys
Let it
that
go.
are gonna get you.
All right,
This
before we
works.
go, speaking of Donovan Mitchell, this is my favorite free agency tweet of the day. Did you see?
Oh my God.
So NBA.
No, hold
Central-
on. Alf, did you look in the group chat? The
That's
video
right.
is there. Okay.
Okay, good.
Oh, there's video.
There's video. Go to the group chat. The video's there. Bro. Click that video and show that shit because it's
Oh my
hilarious.
God! You guys got to talk about something else while I do it. All right, so let's go to this tweet. The Miami Heat are a more likely landing spot for Donovan Mitchell and have furnished a trade offer to the Utah Jazz per Chris Splash. I don't know who that is.
That's how you should know it's fake.
That's my
He works for
favorite.
the Nets. I know he works for the Nets. Like, why would he?
No,
Anyway,
no, he doesn't.
Chris Splash. Okay, so the quote from Chris Splash is, "Fat Joe told me he is close to Mitchell and that Mitchell's dream is playing for Miami, not his hometown Knicks." Now, when you're reading that tweet, did you ever think the name Fat Joe was going to be involved?
Lean back.
Like, it just came out of nowhere.
he's changing careers. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Well, no. Fat Joe did respond.
Oh, Fat Joe respond. What?
Fat Joe never said this.
Fat Joe has never said this.
Whoa.
So,
Somebody said y'all got to stop following shit like NBA Central, bro. That's half the fun. Are you kidding me? Half the shit with that account tweets is hilarious, and people believe it, which leads to more fun. I think it's like the best part.
That tweet about KD wanting to go to LA, but Pelinka said no because of Tyler Horton.
That was Kev.
Yeah,
Someone got the fuck out of me. I said, "What is this?" That's why I don't do bits. Y'all play too much.
okay, while I get that video,
You never know.
while I get that
The name
video, I
looks
want
like a
I want
bad
Christian's
Matthias
thoughts on
Duncan.
this tweet. All right, Christian, I want your thoughts on this tweet. You go ahead and read it.
I'm ready. To show his continued importance and value to the franchise,
Oh!
the Miami Heat sent a delegation of employees to make a free agency pitch to Udonis Haslem promptly at 6 p.m. tonight with the hopes of luring him back for year 20.
Yes.
What is this? A delegation? What are we at the UN?
Yes, you
Jesus.
said the council. What?
It's fucking the National Security Council of Heat Culture.
Yes.
I will show up at his doorstep
He
tonight
sent
and
the
ask him
fucking.
back.
Heat House Select Committee to damn UD's door.
I just like Zoe showing up with like a cake or some shit. I don't know. I'm trying to like visualize what this looks like.
Christian, I saw a cake too.
Just like 41 candles, however old he is, or 21 for the amount of years he's been
They're
in the
all
league.
standing in like a half circle around the cake at his door. Like.
Yeah, no, they're standing in the shape of a U. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like is this for the Canes? Is this for my guy? Like, who's this for?
As long as Udonis Haslam is from Liberty City, Miami, Florida, he is the whale. Shout out to Liberty City. Shout out to Ross Sewell's. Go to Ross Sewell's on 62nd and 7th. Get yourself a baggy ass suit with the matching fedora, and the cane comes free. Let's get into it. Bring UD back. Let's go.
Fuck yeah.
Totally agree. Totally.
The word delegation, it just makes the whole thing so much more wacky.
It was definitely like the homeowners association or whatever like community he lives in.
Oh man.
You're muted.
You're muted, Alf.
Oh, my bad. All right, so I have this video, you guys. I've not seen it. Is it good?
I haven't gotten a chance to see it. I just know that
I don't
it was
know
in
what
chat.
it is.
All right, it's Fat Joe. Let's see what he says.
With Donovan Mitchell, and he has never once told me, no, I want to be a Knick.
Oh,
wow.
I see the
never heard
heartbreak in
that.
Ashley's eyes. I see it. Pain. That means y'all getting Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson.
The man ain't never tell Joe Crack, the #1 Knicks fan, yo, I want to come to the Knicks. I've heard other players whisper that.
Oh, okay. So
In Miami,
he didn't even like refute the Miami thing. He was just like, no, I would say he wants to be a Knick, which is actually even funnier.
Point of that video.
that is correct. Fat Joe gets an A+.
All right, so the Fat Joe source was
Hey,
solid.
shout out to Fat Joe and shout out to Ashley Nicole Moss also. But we can continue the show.
Oh, here
Shout
you
out
go.
to her.
Want to play it again?
We don't need to play it again.
Need
I'll
that
make
But
it
shout out to her.
thing. All right, guys. So we're
We
nearing
need
the
brass,
end of
man. Like this is.
what happened.
That was the out.
Oh my, bro! Let me explain something to you guys. There is no brass today, so you know who's producing the show? Alf.
I know.
You know who's hosting the show? Alf. You know who's putting up fucking pictures and videos and comments? This guy.
Fucking guessed it.
So, but before
I
you
love
finish
Nick
that rant,
Kroll.
you gotta take the glasses off. Without the glasses, you look like a disciplinarian. So you gotta do that. Now go ahead and
I can't
let
even
us
see
know.
shit. Someone said I look like more of an alcoholic without my glasses.
Yeah, holy shit.
The eyebrow.
Damn.
Without the glasses,
I've never
you
seen
look
you
like,
before without your glasses. That's the first time ever.
You look like the meanest teacher at a Haitian school when you take the glasses off.
Yes, you look like a Haitian dictator. But like, you look like
I'm not
Fidel
touching
Castro
this
mixed
Yeah,
with
no.
Uncle Ruckus.
Chris and I are sitting this one out.
I'm looking for that out right now.
Like
I can't remember.
the borderline like racist.
I'm trying to find the out.
I know you're trying to find the out. Yeah.
Oh, hold up. Let me break it down.
Oh.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm so
It's okay,
sorry.
we only got 30 left.
Audience. I'm so sorry.
We only got 30 other ones.
Just a few more.
Tired of PER, EFG, QBR, PD.
Joe isn't even here today. Well, good job, everybody.
No, we're still live, I think.
No, I can't. What?
We're still live.
Oh shit, my
Live.
bad.
We're
Hold on,
live.
I really need brass. Hold on, I got it.
Yup. Jesus.
That's the wrong one. Hold on.
Hey man,
Take the glasses back off.
One man, two desires.
we gotta do
Why does
that.
Alex look
That
like
was a good
a
one.
Canadian in South Park right there?
Wait, the bit doesn't work if I have my glasses on, right? All right, for real. See you guys next time.